What is going on, YouTube? I am Lamont at Large. Today we are at the Lake Worth Memorial Garden Cemetery here in Lake Worth, Florida. We're going to talk about the murder of Marlene Warren and why it took almost 30 years to finally catch her killer. And you're not going to believe who it was. Michael and Marlene Warren, a very successful power couple if there ever was. They own a very successful car dealership. You go to a car auction, you buy a car for $700, you turn it around and sell it for 5 times its value. The APR is outrageous. People don't have good credit, but they're going to pay the price because they have very little down and they need a car right away. They also own quite a bit of rental properties in and around the area of Palm Beach. May 26, 1990, they lived in a very affluent neighborhood on Takeoff Place. That is an area where a lot of people own planes, and you can actually fly your plane, land it at an airplane hangar, and you could just drive it down the street. It's quite amazing. There's quite a few communities similar to that one all around the country. May 26, 1990. Marlene is at home with her son. He's nursing a broken leg. He's chilling with 3 of his friends. They're all home. 10:45 a.m. The doorbell rings. Marlene gets up to answer it. She opens the door and there's a clown dressed up in purple and red and had the paint and the wig and everything. This clown has 2 mylar balloons. One is heart-shaped, says, "You're the best." The other one is a Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs balloon with a bouquet of flowers. And she says, "Oh, thank you." And next thing you know, gunshots, pop, pop, pop. Immediately, Marlene's son says, "What the hell?" But of course, he has a broken leg. He can't get to the door fast enough. So one of the friends runs to the door just in time to see Marlene laying in a pool of blood oozing out of her face. And they see a clown. This clown is walking outside to a late model white Chrysler LeBaron. The clown is not walking very fast. The clown is walking slow, like the clown does this every day. The clown gets into its car, doesn't even peel out, just reverses the car and takes off. Almost like the clown was the husband and he was on his way to work on a leisurely Tuesday morning, if you will. They immediately call 911. The paramedics arrive. One of the son's friends had to put a metal spoon in her mouth because her airway was closed off from all the blood that she was choking on. They take her to Palm West Hospital, where she fights for her life for 2 days and finally succumbs to her injuries. Homicide detectives are rolled. They get to the scene. They see the balloons. They see the flowers. They're talking to Marlene's son. He's an inconsolable mess. His mom has just been brutally murdered. The friends are at a loss for words. They don't know what to say. This doesn't happen every day to people where they have somebody murdered practically in front of them. So the detectives, they get each of them into a room separately. They say, "Tell us what happened. What did you see?" And they pretty much all say the same story. A man dressed like a clown walked away into a Chrysler LeBaron, white colored, and just left. Didn't even walk fast, just walked to the car, got in the car, and left. Okay, they said it was a man. Was he tall? Was he short? Oh, he was tall. He was well over 6 feet. Maybe he was even 6 feet too. Okay, 6'2" clown, 6 foot clown. What kind of build did he have? Was he fat? Was he skinny? Nah, he was built. He was built. Was he like muscular? Did he lift weights? Was he a power lifter? No, not like that. Not built. He didn't have a beer belly, but you know, you could tell he was just kind of built. He was a guy. Did you see with the color of his eyes? One of them said that they seen that he had brown eyes. Well, how did you know that he had brown eyes? Well, because I seen him. I seen him when walking to a car. I looked at his eyes, and it was covered in white makeup all over his face. He's definitely a guy, about a 6'1" clown guy, white makeup, red, orange clown wig. He had like a red clown costume, or was it orange, or maybe purple? One of his friends said it was purple, but then it had sparkles on it. Did it have a big red bow tie on it? I don't know. What about the shoes? Big clown shoes? Oh, we don't remember clown shoes. It could have been like a polka dot, purple, green, blue, yellow. When something traumatic happens to you like that, your mind is going like crazy. You're not going to really distinguish certain colors away from other colors. When you induce trauma to the brain, a lot of times our brains shut off, or maybe sometimes our brains process things differently than the others. So was it a blue, purple, or red, yellow, green, orange? It was one of those colors. It might have had sparkles. I don't know. But it was a guy. He was a very, very tall guy. Okay, we got a killer clown on the loose in the Palm Beach area of Florida. Be on the lookout for a killer clown driving a white Chrysler LeBaron. The detectives don't know what to do with this. It was a clown. However, they did get a rather unusual phone call. Somebody calls in with a hot tip. Hey, listen, I don't want to identify myself, but you might want to look into the husband, the whole proverbial husband routine. We all do this. It's always the husband, right? In these cases, always the husband. The husband, Michael Warren. Well, he has an employee at the dealership named Sheila Keene. And Sheila Keene and Michael Warren, they've been having an affair. Okay. Let's talk to Michael and Sheila. They talk to Michael. Hey, we heard that you and Sheila have been, hey, listen, it's not illegal to have an affair. It's immoral, but it's not illegal. He denies it. Nah. And they go ask her, hey, Sheila, we heard that you and Michael were having an affair. No, we're not, nothing like that at all. So the detectives are talking to the employees of the car dealership business, and they're just kind of asking them, hey, can you tell us a little bit about your boss? And quite a few of them said, yeah, they've been messing around. We would see them holding hands, kissing. One of them even said that she seen him giving him oral sex in the next room over. Whatever's clever at the end of the day. Whatever you want to do in your private life, that is your business. And when one of the detectives is talking to Sheila, he notices something quite unusual about this particular woman that you wouldn't notice with every average woman. He's going back in his mind, and he keeps remembering that these kids seen a 6-foot clown that was a man. Now he's looking at this woman. He's looking at Michael, but Michael Warren had an airtight alibi. He was nowhere near side. I think he was several hundred miles away, and he had receipts to prove where he was at. So they're just looking at her, and they're just thinking, she couldn't have done it. But little did they know that they were standing next to possibly the killer of Marlene Warren. Now, back in 1990, which is 30 years ago, you had a lot less people in Florida. You had a lot less businesses. It wasn't an area that was too heavily congested. It was a big city, yet not New York big, not LA big, not Chicago big. So at the crime scene, one of the detectives is looking at the 2 Mylar balloons and the bouquet of flowers. And he says to his partner, hey, how about we go to a couple of stores and just see if we can match the balloons and the flowers and the way they're wrapped and the wrapping and so forth and so on. So they start going to different supermarkets in town, and they finally go to a Publix off of Old Military Road, and they start talking to some of the employees of the store. And a couple of them said, you know what? Yeah, on May 26th, maybe around 9 o'clock, it was 8:30, 9 o'clock, a woman came in. She had brown hair in a ponytail. She came to buy, from what we remember, that exact same bouquet and balloons. The detectives say, did you notice anything odd or unusual about her? Yeah, I did actually. She walked kind of weird. She had the mannerisms of a guy. Thought that was kind of odd. Light bulb goes off in the detective's head. Huh. Mannerisms like a guy. As a matter of fact, I noticed that when I was talking to her. She seemed kind of guy-ish, if you will. Okay. So they gave a sworn written affidavit of what they seen. Okay, so they got that in their file. So the next move the detectives need to do is they need to figure out where the costume was possibly bought from. So they hit up all the areas in town, all the costume shops. So they go to a costume shop called Spotlight. They talk to the clerk there. Hey, do you remember anybody coming in here to buy a clown costume in the last, I don't know, week or so? Yeah. A lady came in to buy a clown costume. A lady. Can you tell us about this lady? Well, she came into the costume shop. She wanted a clown costume. We asked her if it was a male or a female clown, and she said it was going to be for a female. Now, she bought a clown costume, and she told us that she needed enough white makeup to cover the face. She bought a wig, and that was it. The detectives asked, did she buy any clown shoes? They said, no clown shoes. She just bought the clown costume. Oh, okay, they said. Okay, very good. Did you notice anything else about this woman? Did you notice her mannerisms? Did she walk a certain way? Did she talk a certain way? We noticed that she was a little gruff. She almost moved with a kind of like a... She almost walked like a guy. She's kind of tall too. Tall and thin. Okay. The detectives look at each other. They said, okay, I think we got the suspect. Who knows? Let's see what happens. We're onto something. One of the detectives remembers as he was talking to Sheila, standing next to her, you noticed that she was kind of tall for a woman. She's about 5'8", 5'9" maybe. That could be easily confused with 6 feet tall when something such as a murder is going on in front of you. Now, they had got the employees from the Publix, and they brought Sheila Keene in to do a photo lineup with other prisoners or what have you in the jail. So the Publix, they're going from one woman to the other, and they look at Sheila Keene, they're like, is that her? I don't know. I mean, that could be her. I don't know. Maybe that's her. I've been seeing her name and her picture in the news. Yeah, that's got to be her because she's suspected of this murder. Yeah, that's her. But then again, I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Well, we're not really sure. We really can't pick her out. Okay. So they let her go. They don't have enough evidence to get her on this murder. They go back to a bargain car dealership, which they also rented cars. You go to a car dealership, they'll rent you a car if you're willing to pay. They will definitely rent you a car. They go back to the car dealership and they talk to one of the employees by the name of Claude Poitras. They said, hey, Claude, we want to talk to you. We're looking for a Chrysler LeBaron. Have you ever seen a Chrysler LeBaron here? Has your boss sold a Chrysler LeBaron? And he says, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen him in a Chrysler LeBaron. And he says, well, what happened? Where's the car? He said, I don't know where the car is, but I was at work and somebody called in saying something about have rented a Chrysler LeBaron, and they didn't know where to leave it at because they felt that they left it at the wrong place. So he says, according to his memory, that Michael Warren told the couple that had rented this white Chrysler LeBaron to leave the car at wherever they were at, and he'll come pick it up. So Michael Warren, along with Sheila Keene, they have Claude drive them to the place to drop them off to go pick up the Chrysler LeBaron. And Michael turns to Claude and says, hey, don't tell anybody that you've seen this car. It's a secret car, just don't mention anything to anybody. Right. Eventually, a 1986 white Chrysler LeBaron happens to be found abandoned at a Winn-Dixie parking lot not too long after the murders occurred, about 45 days or so after. They did get a call from one of the beat patrol guys. Hey, we found a white Chrysler LeBaron. The detectives click their heels. Yes. The car is towed. It's brought down to the police department, and this process, they start looking for anything and everything. Now, let's remember, back in those days, DNA was a thing, but it still is in its infancy. They start combing through the LeBaron. There's no blood, there's nothing, but they do notice some kind of hairs. They pick up a brown hair, it appeared to be human. We think this is a human hair. And then there was some other weird hairs. And they weren't sure what it is. But they took it under a microscope, and it looked like it was some kind of an acrylic orange or red kind of hair, or synthetic hair. It was the hair, or synthetic hair rather, that was made from a clown wig. So they matched the clown wig hairs that were found in the LeBaron with the clown wig or a similar clown wig that they would find at that costume shop. Okay, we got a little bit of evidence. They got a brown hair, but it looked like it could come from Sheila, but they don't know. DNA is kind of new. We don't really know. Michael Warren denies ever having that car. They just don't have enough evidence to say without a shadow of a doubt whether she was the one that committed the murder or not. And finally, the case grows cold. They just kind of falls away. So it goes in the unsolved murder case files. Some detectives, sometimes they open these, unsolved murders from time to time. And eventually, of all the denying of an affair, well, guess who starts dating? Well, Michael Warren and Sheila Keene. They start dating. They both shack up together, and they decide, hey, let's move to Tennessee. They moved to Tennessee, and they opened up a restaurant called the Purple Cow, and they ran that business from 1993 up until around 2016. Coincidentally, they were married. They did get married, so her name now is legally Sheila Keene Warren, but they didn't get married to 2002. Yeah, we don't want to get married too quickly, It's come on, that whole thing. So eventually they retire and move to Virginia. And it is in Virginia where she got arrested. The detectives go up to Virginia and they knock on the door. Hey, are you Sheila Keene Warren? Well, yes, I am. How are you doing? Pleasure to meet you. Put it there, buddy. Yeah, turn around, spin around, put your hands behind your back. You have a warrant for your arrest for the murder of Marlene Warren. Turn around, buddy. So they extradite Sheila Keene Warren now, because she's married, right? Sheila Keene Warren is extradited back to Florida. They get her into the custody of the detectives And they go to her hair and they go, doink. They take a hair from her head. They get that skin from the root of the hair and they match it to the Chrysler LeBaron, the hair that was found in there about 27 years ago. We got the smoking gun now. We got the DNA evidence that points to you being the clown killer. You know, her son and her friends, they're saying that a 6-foot guy is the one that was the clown, when it looks like it was a 5'8", 5'9" man acting woman. You, Sheila Keene Warren. 27 years later, it looks like they have a good enough case to convict her of this murder. Now, Michael Warren has not been arrested. He has not been suspected, really, other than possibly, you know, hey, it's the proverbial, yeah, the husband always kills the wife, or what have you. So I'm kind of waiting to see if they bring any charges against him, because me personally, do I feel he's possibly behind it? Well, duh. But there's actually no proof, considering he was a few hundred miles away from the scene of the crime. Currently, Sheila Keene Warren is in jail here in Palm Beach County. She has no bail at all. She's been cooling her heels at that jail for the better part of 3 years now. I don't believe the trial has gone to trial yet, but the prosecution feels that they have a very solid case against this woman being the killer clown. No trial date has started yet. I don't know if it's because of the whole, you know, C word thing going around, this and that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the case? Do you guys think this is a solid case, or what? It doesn't look good for Sheila Keene Warren. And as the sun sets on a beautiful day in Florida, we're going to go visit the grave of Marlene Warren. And here we are. This is the grave of our murder victim, Marlene Warren. I could only hope that we have caught your killer. I believe more will come out in this case as time goes on. DNA evidence, you cannot argue your way out of that. You cannot argue your way out of lying to the police about your affair with Michael Warren. We'll see if we can get justice for this woman. To get shot like that, a brazen murder, to do that in front of your son, very, very horrible. And to nonchalantly just walk away like it was not a big deal to you, a true psychopath to say the least. I believe Sheila Keene Warren is right where she belongs, and I hope that she never gets out of jail ever again. Who knows, maybe the death penalty is on the table for you, because this, to me, appears to be a premeditated murder, and I would like to see and or hear Michael Warren's side of things. That's funny, your wife is killed, and then you just kind of run off with the chick that you were having an affair with. I don't know, it says you. Let me know in the comments what you think. All right, guys, I gotta go. They're about to close the cemetery gates on me. Rest in peace to Marlene. We will see you on the next vlog. Hopefully we'll get some justice for you. All right, guys, we're out of here. Peace out.